Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the interwebs. John with Midnight Run Creations here. So as you can see, that's an oil pan. More importantly, that's an oil pan for a 4.6 liter Crown Vic motor. Friggin'. So, evidently, if you break the dipstick tube off at the block, then the cool tool sometimes gets it out, extractor tool, and sometimes it just knocks the dipstick, what's remaining of the dipstick tube, down into the oil pan. So therefore, if it does that, then you have to remove said oil pan and then remove said broken off flippin' piece of dipstick oil tube that's inside the bottom of the oil pan. Son of a frickin' So yeah, loads of fun. Loads and loads of fun. So luckily, with this whole cool setup that we got going on here, there is nothing here. So so we're able to do this, undo the motor mounts, and lift the motor up via the Skyjacker 20,000. So get it up far enough so you can get to all the bolts and get it out. The really shitty thing is this oil pump thing or whatever I don't know. I don't even know what the hell this is. Whatever this piece of thing is there, you have to unloosen those bolts and stuff because there's one that is, where is it? I can't even see. Right there. See that little ledge right there? Oh, sorry for a crappy camera. That right there. There's a bolt right there. And this stupid flippin' mother-loving thing right there is in the way, so you can't get it. So you have to loosen these bolts that are up here and push this. The stupid ass thing is that the water neck, it's not the thermostat. Thermostat's up there. So this is the return from the block. It's all like one freaking piece. So that oil deal and then the housing for that. Yeah. So then water goes down here on top of you and shit. So yeah, it's just loads of flipping fun. I watched all kinds of videos and shit, and it didn't say anything about this piece. It just, you do the oil things. So luckily this is all easier because everything else online says, and I can see why normally if this is in the Crown Vic and the Crown Vic is whole and all together and stuff, then you have to drop this whole cradle down to get to the oil pan and stuff. So there you go. So now you'll know why if you have to do any kind of oil pan work or whatever and you take it into someplace, they charge you a fortune because this whole cross member, according to the interwebs and YouTube and stuff, this whole thing's supposed to go and drop out, and that gets to you. So otherwise, if you have room and the ability, you can do like I did and raise said motor up and stuff and get pan out. So yeah, anywho, I got the flipping broken up dipstick tube crap off of there, and so just kind of doing something. Well, I'm going to clean this up and stuff because when I was screwing with it, some metal pieces kind of went in, and so we'll make sure and get this pan cleaned up really good so there's nothing sitting down in the bottom of it and stuff. So, and then evidently we're doing an oil change on this motor, so which isn't a horrible thing to do. It's one of the many things I'd like to start doing. All these included with the build is just doing kind of a servicing type of thing on it, I guess. I mean, obviously not timing chains or guides or whatever is all in this combobulation stuff. I ain't touching that crap. I'm not breaking this motor apart to do any of that kind of crap. I might later, maybe on one. No, hell no. No. I am never taking this stuff apart to build the motor and stuff, this dual cam stuff and everything else. Hell no. I will stick to LS power on that kind of stuff. I'm not building this stuff. No way. Plus the cost is very not prohibitive from what I can see. So, but if somebody wants to do it, then we can do it. I've got engine people who do that, but I ain't pulling this crap apart and doing there and here and here. I mean, maybe idlers and tensioners and stuff like that I can do, and like I don't even know about intake gasket. That just kind of, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, but yeah. So, oil pan, got to do that. So that sucks. It's dumb. But yeah, I didn't even. It was not like it's not like I reamed on it and shit. I'm not stupid, but I because we were doing the headers on this, like you can see on this side. So dipstick was in the way initially. I guess should have just kind of did it, and just let it be there and slid the headers in and stuff. But I was like, oh, okay, I will get this out of the way. So, usually you just kind of give them a bit of a twist and pull and they come out. Well, I kind of twisted and it just went bleh and twisted off right at the freaking block and stuff. So thus resulted in this. I tried to extract it as best I could using everything I possibly could with it. And then finally got the cool tool, which the warning for the tool was that it goes down inside the hole for the block. Where is it? Yeah. Somewhere. I think I read about there is where that comes out at, somewhere over on this side. But the tool goes down inside of it, screws in so you can pry or use a slide hammer and stuff onto it. But a lot of the video stuff and everything warns that sometimes it does just go and push the rest of the tube down into the oil pan and stuff. So, and that's what I did with this one. So luckily we could get it out. So yeah, it sucks. So if you have to do anything about that, just be careful, because otherwise this sucks ass. Luckily it happened while we're in this state where there is nothing on the front of this, so it was a lot easier to do. So yeah, the oil pan back on, put the new dipstick tube that I had to buy on, yeah, gaskets, all kinds of fun stuff. Get that back together and get it back together, drop back in place, and move on with my life to the fuel system and stuff. As you can see, the joys of building vehicles. This is the reality of hot rodding, my friends. It just sometimes this is the way it goes. Just like having to buy, well, I have to, but I bought 5 different header styles to try and see what goes through, because the only ones that are quote unquote meant for the Crown Vic are from Stainless Works, and their availability is spotty like everything else is right now and stuff. So I wanted to see what other 4.6 liter ones go in. So I bought like 5 different header styles. I think they're all Flowtech versions, if I remember right. I'll try and figure out which ones these ones actually were, and like put in the description or something, or go on to the Crown Vic chassis swap Facebook page and put those on there. So, but the long tubes and stuff, everything on the passenger side was not an issue. The driver side is what was the issue. What it ended up boiling down to was the steering linkage was my problem. Everything else was able to be fooled with, possibly notching out the frame, clipping off ears that came off of the head or off the block down there and stuff onto it. I mean, the factory ends kind of came in odd spots, but that's all fixable. What was not able to be dealt with is the steering linkage coming right up into it or coming up through the long tube on this side. So the shorties, it ran right into them. The long tubes, it ran up through, but it kicked it over here to where it wouldn't hook up correctly and stuff. So yeah, so that's the sucky thing about that. Now, granted, with time and stuff, both of the I'd say yes, definitely. With any amount of time of fabrication on the passenger side, with the shorties or the long tubes, they could be made to fit. And if somebody wanted to cut and kind of play with them and stuff like that with it. So, which if I don't sell them, that's probably what I'll do, is maybe play around with them on the truck that I'm going to kind of pick up maybe as my test, the shop biatch truck or the test truck and stuff on it. So as you can see, there's the oil dipstick tube down there where it's supposed to go. But yeah, so I might try those, so they can. But otherwise, if you just want something that goes bink and plugs right in, doesn't interfere with steering and that kind of stuff, these shorty ones that I'm putting on this truck will work. It just, the exhaust is going to come up quite a ways up here, so we'll either go through there or drop back down and then come out. I think we're doing dual exits on this one. This is the sick new leaning cab version. But yeah, so that's the stainless steel. The Stainless Works ones are just boom, and they'll dump, I mean, right down here. They're designed to actually plug right back into the stock Crown Vic factory exhaust. So if you've got everything still here, it'll literally just plug right back into where it needs to go, and off you go. So that's the nice thing about the stainless. They are, I think, like around $2,000 or whatever. The Stainless Works ones, they're expensive. The Cook supposedly makes some for these Crown Vics, but I have never been able to find them. And when I called, I think Cooks or somebody that carries them, they couldn't even verify for me that they do actually fit the Crown Vic. And look on YouTube and stuff, they're even hard to find for anybody actually putting those in. And I think the ones I did find, they had to do some beating and stuff on them to get them to even fit correctly, I think, if I remember right. But the Stainless Works ones, that's what they're for, is they bolt in. They've got the EGR for the other side, I think it is. No, this side. So the driver's side has the EGR. The headers both have O2 bungs spots in them. So that's what they're for, is to plug into everything factory and stuff onto it. So nice way to go on that if you just want to put them in. But like I said, they're up there in price, where I think it's like, I don't know how much these are. These are a lot less than that, I think, and plus the availability and stuff onto them. So I've been meaning to try different ones and see. So yeah. So that's where we're with that. Everything's been frustrating lately. One, I've been sick as all can be for a while, so that kind of put me out. The other thing was the issues with this bastard. And then on the stunt truck, we've been having issues with the Dakota Digital. I don't know if I said it or not before, but the BIM module for the Crown Victoria O2 sensors, or just any O2, OBD2, there we go, sorry. The BIM for the OBD2 port, when everything's plugged in, I'm not getting signal from the OBD2 unless I also have the original Crown Vic cluster. I guess we can walk over here and kind of see visually what I mean for it. So, I mean, this Dakota Digital is sick beyond belief. I know I said in other ones before. The Intellitronics is just absolute crap, absolute shit. Just stay away from it. Their tech support sucks ass. Their customer service sucks ass. It's cheap junk. This thing is awesome. It fits a whole lot better. It's got that big back I mean, I've said it before. These things are badass. They are awesome. So you can get them from a lot of different places. Andrew, this Tuning Performance, has a bunch of, because there's like 3, I think, different versions of these. So anyway, so they're really cool. So you can either plug them in. You can actually use these gauges on a 100% factory truck. It's got a cool port down there that everything analog plugs into, or you can plug into, like I'm doing with the BIM module, which goes into the OBD2 port. So the problem is it's supposed to pull all the readings and stuff to the Dakota Digital. Without the Crown Vic original gauge cluster in, I'm not getting anything from the OBD2 port. So been working with Dakota Digital and my tuner Marty, and it looks like the thing that we need to do is remove that cluster and then put in a couple of resistors into the back side of the OBD2 port. That they're thinking that there's something wrong with, that it's not seeing enough resistance without the gauge cluster plugged in and stuff. So resistors are on the way. Once those get here, then we will get that. So that's been frustrating. Otherwise, it fires, and when this stuff is all plugged in, I'm getting everything on the Dakota Digital with it. So it's really cool. You just go through and punch everything in and do adjustments and all that kind of stuff. So once we get that, then we'll be able to put this back in and set the speedometer according to what it needs to be, and then start kind of test driving around and stuff, as well as getting the Humpty Hump. We'll do the Humpty Hump in the back of the bed. So this has been delaying everything else because I've been banging my head against this whole cluster and then this whole fiasco. So yeah, fun times. But this is the realities of hot rodding, and this is why things take time. It's why things cost money like they do, is because, like the adage is, every 15-minute job is one broken bolt away from being many hours or many days and stuff with it. So yeah, so we're rocking and rolling. So I'll get this pan cleaned, and that'll get this fiasco back, so it'll feel good to get this thing started to put it back together and stuff, and moving forward on the awesome fuel system that we got. I got the whole kit from Andrew, so I'll go through that. The layout on that, it's actually pretty sick, pretty sweet. It's like the other side of the motor. Everything runs on the other side, which is interesting. So yeah, onward and upward. Later. Whew.